A warm welcome to all the viewers for the course Advanced Manufacturing Technology. And I myself Thiyapal, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today in this second lecture, I am going to discuss about non-traditional machining process or non-traditional manufacturing process. Well, with the advancement of technology and as per the requirement of human being, nowadays people are wanting a product with a very high dimensional accuracy along with a good surface quality product with minimum cost estimation. So if I talk about the conventional manufacturing process, then in that particular situation probably we are getting a product but the dimensional accuracy and surface quality is not as much as better as like non-traditional machining process. So if I want to know that what is this non-traditional machining process, then the first and foremost answer that arises in our mind, it is that machining process where complex part can be manufactured in a very simple way with some manufacturing processes, and these processes can be thermal processes, it can be mechanical processes, it can be electrochemical processes also. Well, one of the important thing of non-traditional machining processes or non-traditional manufacturing processes is that you can generate any complex shape product with the advanced material, and this particular advanced material cannot be machined through any conventional machining process like lathe, milling, etc. So today in this particular lecture, we are going to discuss about what is non-traditional machining process, what is conventional machining process, what are the basic difference between conventional machining process and non-conventional machining process, as well as we are going to define all the various processes that are involved with non-traditional manufacturing process. So now let's move to the next slide. Introduction of non-traditional machining process.
So as I have already discussed that today we are going to talk about non-traditional machining process. And basically if I talk about non-traditional machining process, then the most important thing arises in our mind that how manufacturing process can be broadly classified, or even you can say what are the various material removal processes are there basically which we are following in our manufacturing processes. So if I talk about in the early stage of mankind, tools were made of stone for the item being made. When iron tools were invented, desirable metals and more sophisticated article could be produced. In 20th century's products were made from the most durable and consequently the most unmachinable materials. In an effort to meet the manufacturing challenges created by these materials, tools have now evolved to include materials such as alloy steel, carbide, diamond, ceramic. The conventional manufacturing process in use today for material removal primarily rely on electric motors and hard tool materials to perform tasks such as sawing, drilling and broaching. And if I talk about conventional forming operation, basically they perform with the energy from electric motor, hydraulics and gravity. Likewise, material joining is conventionally accomplished with thermal energy sources such as burning gases and electric arc. In constrained non-traditional manufacturing processes harness energy sources considered unconventional by yesterday's standards. So material removal can now be accomplished with electrochemical reaction, high temperature plasma, as well as you can use some sort of abrasive also, high velocity jet of liquids also. Material that in the past have been extremely difficult to form are now formed with magnetic field, explosives and the shock waves from powerful electric sparks. Material joining capabilities have been expanded with the use of such high frequency sound wave and beams of electrons and coherent light. Next, what is happening is that with the development of technologies, more and more challenging problems are faced by the scientists and technologists in the field of manufacturing. The difficulty is adapting the traditional manufacturing process can be attributed mainly to the following basic sources. Number 1, new materials with low machinability. Number 2, dimensional and accuracy requirement. Number 3, a higher production rate and economy. The many new materials and alloy that have been developed for specific use possesses a very low machinability. Producing complicated geometric in such material becomes extremely difficult with the usual methods. Also, sometimes the combinations of the material properties and the job dimension is such that the use of the traditional processes become impossible. For example, suppose if I consider a job or machining a complicated turbine blade made up of superalloy and producing holes and slots in the material such as glass and semiconductors. Is it possible by performing through a conventional machining process? So drilling a non-circular hole or a micro hole becomes problematic if traditional processes are used. Apart from the situation cited, higher production rate and economic requirement may demand the use of non-traditional or unconventional machining process. So to tackle such difficult job, two approaches are always possible as well as preferable. They are a modification of the traditional process, for example, hot machining, and next is you can say the development of new processes. Now, non-traditional manufacturing process is basically defined as a group of processes that remove excess material by various techniques involving mechanical, thermal, electrical or chemical energy, or you can say combination of these energies but do not use any sharp tools as it needed to be used for traditional manufacturing processes. Extremely hard and brittle materials are difficult to machine by traditional machining process, such as turning, drilling, shaping, and milling. Non-traditional machining processes, also called advanced manufacturing processes, and these are employed where traditional machining processes are not feasible, satisfactory or economical due to special reason as outlined in the next PPT. Now, the most important thing is that why we are preferring this one. Basically, we are preferring when the material is very hard and it is difficult to clamp through a traditional machining process. Next, we are preferring when the workpiece is too flexible or slender. Next, we are preferring non-traditional machining process when the shape of the part is too complex. So, if I talk about the manufacturing processes, then I must say it is basically divided into two processes. What are the processes? Number 1, primary manufacturing processes, and number 2, secondary manufacturing processes. Under primary manufacturing processes, basically it helps us to get a basic shape and size. But if I go with the secondary manufacturing processes, then always it includes a very final shape, size and tighten control on the dimension surface characteristic. Now, as we are talking about the conventional and non-conventional, basically they are categorized under which process? They are categorized under a material removal process. So here we can say conventional and you can say non-conventional, or you can say non-traditional manufacturing process. So as per the definition of non-traditional manufacturing process, it can be defined as material removal mechanism which is different than those in traditional process. That is a different form of energy other than the exclusive force exercised by the tool, which is a physical contact with the workpiece, is applied to remove the excess material from the work surface or to separate the workpiece into smaller parts. Now, non-traditional machining basically has got some characteristic. So if I discuss, the first point is that material removal may occur with chip formation, or you can say even no chip formation may take place. For example, one of the process, if I talk about abrasive jet machining, the chips are so microscopic size, and if I talk about electrochemical machining, material removal basically occurs due to electrochemical dissolution at the atomic level. So from here you can see two examples where you can get a microscopic size chip, as well as in one of the cases you are not even getting the chip formation. Now if I talk about the non-traditional machining, there are, or you can say there may not be a physical tool present. For example, if I talk about laser jet machining, basically this machining is carried out by the laser beam. However, electrochemical machining, there is a physical tool that is very much required for machining. So you can see that in one process, in non-traditional machining process, somewhere we are using tool, somewhere we are not using tool. So when we are not using tool, we can prefer some laser machining process, and if I use a tool, then we can prefer a electrochemical process, isn't it? Now, another most important thing is that in non-traditional machining process, the tool need to be hardened than the workpiece material. If I talk about EDM, copper is used as tool material to machine hardened steel. So you can see so many complicated cases, or you can say so many complicated combination are basically obtained in non-traditional machining process. Last, I would like to say non-traditional machining process does not necessarily use mechanical energy to provide material removal. They use different energy domains to provide machining. For example, ultrasonic machining, abrasive jet machining, water jet machining, mechanical energy is used to machine material. Now, if I talk about what are the need for the development of non-conventional processes? If I tell that the strength of steel alloy has increased 5-folds due to the continuous research and development effort, and if I say you that in aerospace requirement of high strain at elevated temperature with light-weighted lead to the development and uses of hard titanium alloy, pneumonic alloy, and other HSTR alloys, the ultimate tensile strength has been improved by as much as 20 times. The development of cutting tool which has hardness of 80 to 85 HRC, which cannot be machined economically in conventional method, and thus it leads to the development of non-traditional machining method. Technology advanced industry like aerospace, nuclear power, water fabrication, then automobiles has ever increasing use of high strength temperature resistance alloy, having high strength to weight ratio, and other difficult to machine material like titanium, SST, pneumonic tungsten, molybdenum, ceramic and semiconductors. It is no longer possible to use conventional processes to machine these alloy. Next, if I say production and processing parts of complicated shape is difficult, time consuming and uneconomical by conventional method of machining. Next, I can also say innovative geometric design of products and components made of new exotic material with desired tolerance, surface finish cannot be produced economically by conventional machining. Thus, again I would like to say why it is so important for non-traditional or non-conventional machining. Now I will discuss some following examples that are provided in non-traditional machining process Means basically why we are preferring over the conventional machining one. For example, if I discuss about the intricate shape blind hole. For example, if you want to make a square hole of 15 millimeter with a depth of 30 millimeter with a tolerance of 100 microns. It is not possible for a conventional machining process. Now, if I talk about some mechanical material or machine material like Inconel, titanium alloy or carbides, ceramics composite, HSTR alloys, stylites, etc. Now this type of material, it is very difficult for any one of us to go with the conventional machining process. Now if I ask you that low stress grinding, then you have to go with electrochemical grinding, because in conventional grinding it is little bit difficult. Now if I ask you to dip a hole with a small hole diameter, for example 1.5 millimeter hole with length and dia ratio is equal to 20, then it is difficult for you to go with the conventional machining process. And of course, machining of composites, it is always preferred with a non-traditional manufacturing process or non-conventional manufacturing processes. Now you can see that we have already told you that material removal is always done on which process? Conventional process, and another is non-conventional process. So if I ask you what is the basic difference between conventional and non-conventional, then first basic difference is that for conventional process, that is the cutting tool and workpiece are always in physical contact with relative motion with each other. Thus it results in friction and tool wear. But if I talk about non-conventional processes, then I must say that there is no physical contact between the tool and the workpiece. In some non-traditional process, the tool wear exists, but that is also very minimum. Now in conventional machining process, the material removal rate is limited by mechanical properties of your workpiece material. But similarly, if I talk about non-traditional machining process, then machine difficult to cut and hard to cut materials like titanium, ceramic, pneumonic, SST, composite semiconducting material. Next, if I talk about the conventional machining process, then there is a relative motion between the tool and the work is typically rotate or reciprocating. Thus, the shape of the work is limited to circular or flat shape. In spite of CNC system, production of 3D surface is still a difficult task. But if I talk about non-traditional machining process, then it is capable of producing complex 3D shapes and cavities too. Next, if I talk about the conventional machining process, then I must say machining of small cavities, slit, blind holes or through holes are very much difficult. But machining of small cavities, slit and production of non-circular micro-sized large aspect ratio cell entry angle holes, and these are very easy in non-traditional machining processes or conventional manufacturing processes. Now again, if I come to the conventional machining processes, then you can say use relative simple and inexpensive machinery and readily available cutting tool. But if I talk about non-traditional manufacturing process, then it always requires expensive tool and equipment as well as skilled labor, which increase the production cost significantly. Now if I talk about the conventional machining process, capital cost and maintenance cost is low. But if I talk about non-conventional manufacturing process, the capital cost and maintenance cost is little bit high. Well, conventional machining process, or you can say traditional processes, are well established and physics of process is well understood. But if I talk about the mechanism of material removal of some non-traditional machining process are still under research. Now, conventional processes are mostly used mechanical energy. But if I talk about non-traditional machining, they basically preferred energy in direct form. For example, laser they can use, electron beams they can use in direct form in case of laser beam machining and electron beam machining. Now, if I talk about the surface finish and tolerance about the conventional machining process, then they are limited and they are somehow they are inaccurate. Whereas if I talk about for the non-traditional machining process and high surface finish, that means up to 0.1 micron and tolerance 25 microns can be achieved. And the material removal rate in case of conventional machining is always high. But if I talk about non-traditional machining process, the material removal rate is always low. So if I ask someone that what are the process through which you are going to prefer the non-traditional machining method, on which basis or in which aspect, then the first point it arises in everyone's mind, it is physical parameters of the process. Number 2, shape to be machined. Number 3, process capability. Number 4, economics of the process. So here you can see that what are the things that we should consider while carrying out non-conventional process, or you can say to think or to select the process, which are the parameter on which are the aspect on which we should depend. So now we will move to the next slide. Here again it has been told that the conventional machining process, as I've already discussed in the introduction right now, that basically they remove the material in the form of chips by applying forces on workpiece material with the help of wedge shape cutting tool. And what are the characteristics? Generally, macroscopic chip formation by shear deformation occurs. Next, material removal takes place due to the application of cutting force. Next is that what is happening, that is cutting tool is harder than the workpiece at room temperature. So this is the very important thing that you have to keep in mind for preferring a conventional machining process, that a cutting tool has to be harder than the workpiece at room temperature as under machining condition. Now we'll be moving to the next slide. We'll be discussing about the non-conventional manufacturing process. As I've already discussed, that basically it is a group of processes that remove excess material by various techniques which involves mechanical, thermal, electrical and chemical energy or combination of these energies, but do not use a sharp cutting tool as it needs to be used for traditional manufacturing processes. Now what are the major characteristics that you have to keep in mind? That is, material removal may occur with chip formation or even no chip formation that I have already mentioned you. And I have also told you in case of AGM, the chip formation are micro size, but if I talk about electrochemical, then there is occurring due to atomic level dissolution. So what I was talking about, that is in non-traditional machining, may not the tool be present. For example, for case of laser, for case of electrochemical machining, the tool is very much required for machining. So you can see all the processes are getting involved with each other. Next is non-traditional machining. I have told, that is, the tool need not need to be harder than the workpiece material. What I have discussed for the conventional machining process, that the tool has to be higher than the workpiece material. And in EDM, copper is used as a tool material to machine hard steel. So you can see that how the basic difference is lying between the conventional and non-conventional. And mostly in non-traditional machining, I have told, they basically use mechanical energy to provide material removal. And various machining processes have been illustrated, that is ultrasonic machining, abrasive jet machining, water jet machining. Now in the next slide, what we'll be going through, that how this classification of non-conventional machining is basically done. It is depending upon the four things. One is your mechanical, another is your thermal, next is the electrochemical, and finally it is chemical. So in mechanical, what is happening? Erosion of the workpiece material occurs by a high velocity of stream of abrasive or fluid, or both. Means in one machining we can use abrasive passing with a gas or abrasive passing with some fluid, or by implementing the fluid, or both. Okay. Next we are talking about the thermal. The thermal energy is applied to a very small portion of the work surface, causing that portion to be removed by fusion and or vaporization of the material, and the thermal energy is generated by the conversion of electrical energy. Next we talk about the electrochemical. This is the mechanism is reverse of electroplating. All of you know about the electroplating process. So electrochemical process is just the reverse of electroplating process. Next we come about the chemical process. Most materials are susceptible to chemical attack by certain acid or other HMs. In chemical machining, chemical selective removes material from portions of the work part, while other portions of the surface are protected by a mask. So now we are proceeding to the next slide. It is basically the classification of non-conventional machining. Just have a look here. What we are seeing is that first we are seeing, what is this? Energy type. How many type of energy is there? Mechanical, electrochemical, chemical, and thermoelectrical, as I've already mentioned. Now the next thing what we are discussing is that what are the basic mechanism we are going with. For example, for mechanical, the basic mechanism of is erosion. For electrochemical, the basic mechanism is ion displacement. And for chemical, the basic mechanism is ablevation action. But if I talk about thermoelectrical, then the two methods that are preferred, or I mean to say the mechanism, are vaporization, another is fusion. Now what are the sources of immediate energy? For mechanical, what we are using, it is none other than pneumatic or hydraulic pressure. If I talk about electrochemical, then high current is basically preferred. If I talk about non-traditional machining process through chemical process, then the source of immediate energy, it is chemical reactive reagent. Now if I talk about the thermoelectrical process, then it is high voltage and amplified light. And if I talk about the fusion, then the source of immediate energy is ionized material. Clear? Now we will be discussing about the energy transfer. How you are going to transfer the energy. That is high velocity particle you are going to use for mechanical, or high velocity liquid you are going to use for mechanical purpose. But if I talk about the electrochemical, then you are going to use electrolyte. If I talk about the chemical, then I mean to say the medium that is required is environment. But if I talk about thermoelectrical process, then the transfer energy medium is always dielectric, or you can prefer vacuum. Clear? Now here if I talk about the amplified light, then the thing is that you need the radiation, and for fusion you need a hot gas. Now what are the mechanical processes? If I ask you what are the mechanical processes that are involved or they are using mechanical energy type: ultrasonic machining, abrasive jet machining, abrasive flow machining, and magnetic abrasive flow machining. Now if I talk about the high velocity liquid, then what are the things we are getting? Water jet machining, abrasive water jet machining. Now if I talk about electrochemical energy type, then what are the processes that are getting involved here? ECM, electrochemical machining, electrochemical grinding, electrochemical honing. Clear? Now if I go with the chemical one, then the one and only process is called CHM process. That is chemical machining. Now as I have already told, dielectric, if the medium is there and you are using a thermoelectrical energy type, then what is the process? That is one and only, that is the EDM. Now EDM means it can be micro EDM, it can be CNC EDM, it can be die sinking EDM, it can be rotary EDM, it can be dry EDM, it can be wire cut EDM, it can be CNC wire cut EDM, in fact it can be micro wire cut EDM. So you can see, if you are going with the thermal electrical energy type process, then the process that are involving in this category, if they use dielectric fluid, then these are the various processes. Next we will be talking about amplified light. That means we are using amplified light to transfer the energy. Then what are the process? The one and only, that is the electron beam machining. And you can see, in fact amplified light if you are using, then I am going to prefer laser beam machining, or you can say laser milling or laser micro machining. And if you are using the vaporization process and it is carried out in vacuum, then you are going with the electro beam machining. And last but not the least, that is the thermoelectrical process energy type you are using, and the fusion is occurring due to ionized material, and the medium you are using hot gases, then the process is plasma arc machining. So I think from this particular diagram, it is very easy for us to know about all the classification of non-conventional machining. Is that clear? So now we will move to the next slide. Just have a look. What I have already showed you in the figure, that is non-conventional machining, is basically divided into how many category? 4 different processes, isn't it? Now these 4 different processes, what you are getting is that if I talk about the mechanical processes, then first you are talking about abrasive jet machining, ultrasonic machining, water jet machining, and next is abrasive water jet machining. If I talk about electrochemical machining, then what are the processes? Electrochemical machining, electrochemical grinding, electrojet drilling. If I talk about electrothermal processes, what are the processes? Electrodischarge machining, laser jet machining, and electron beam machining. If I talk about chemical processes, then what are the processes are getting involved? Chemical machining and photochemical machining. So now let's move to the next slide. Mechanical machining. As I've already told you that mechanical machining is basically, we are using ultrasonic machining or water jet machining, and they are the very typical example of a single action mechanical non-traditional manufacturing process, isn't it? And if I talk about that, the machining medium is what? Now solid grain, and this is suspended in an abrasive slurry in a form with a liquid is employed in the water jet machining process. Now you can see this is the mechanical non-traditional machining process. This is USM, this is water jet machining. USM, what is using? They are using an abrasion. Here is an abrasive. This is the slurry and this is the workpiece. So the machining is carried out. And water jet machining, the cutting occurs, the jet is flowing, this is the fluid and this is the workpiece. So it will be much more clear in the next slide. Just have a look. See, USM, abrasion, abrasive, slurry, and this is the workpiece. So final machining is done over where? Now this workpiece, isn't it? And if I talk about the water jet machining, you can see cutting is occurring, jet is there, fluid is there, and the workpiece is there. So again the final machining is occurring where? Now here in the workpiece. Now we are talking about the thermal machining process. As I've already told, thermal machining process means melting or vaporizing of workpiece material. Many secondary phenomena occurs during machining, such as microcracking, formation of heat affected zone, and stivation. And next is the source of heat could be plasma as during EDM, and for PBM or photons, laser beam, electrons in EBM, ions in IBM. So you just have a look here. This is your ECM. Okay. So what it is doing? You are discharging. Plasma is there, dielectric is there, and this is the final workpiece machine is performing. Next we are talking about plasma beam machining. Plasma beam is there, plasma is there, gas is there, and this is the workpiece, the machining is performed. Now if I talk about electron beam machining, you can see electron beam is ejected, this is the electron, this is the vacuum, and this is the workpiece where the machining is performed. Now if I talk about ion beam machining, you can see this is the ion beam, this is the ion, this is the vacuum, and this is the workpiece where the machining is occurring. And last, if I talk about the laser beam machining, what is happening? Laser beam is ejected, photons are there, this is the ear, and this is the workpiece where the machining is performed. Now let's move to the next slide. We are talking about chemical and electrochemical machining. Chemical machining and photochemical machining or photochemical blanking all basically use chemical dissolution action to remove the machining alloys through iron is an etchant. Electrochemical machining uses the electrochemical dissolution to remove the machining alloys using ion transfer in an electrolytic cell. So you can see this is the ECM, this is the ECD, this is the ion, this is the electrolyte, and this is the machining of workpiece is done. For chemical machining and PCM, photochemical this machining, what is happening is that the CD is there, chemical dissolution, and this is the ion, this is the etchant, and this is the workpiece where you are performing the entire operation. Now we will move why we are going for non-traditional machining. I mean to say why? What is the need for non-traditional machining? Obviously we should know why it is required. Okay, so what I will be discussing right now, where it is used. Extremely hard and brittle material or difficult to machine materials by traditional machining process, there you can support non-traditional machining. Next, when the workpiece is too flexible or slender to support the cutting or grinding force, there you can use. Next, when the shape of the parts is too complex, there you can use. Next, when you need to integrate a shape blind hole, as I've already told you, 15 mm to 15 mm with a depth of 30 mm, then you can use that one. And if you want to make a deep hole, then you can use this one. And if you want to machine a composition material, then you have to go with the non-traditional machining process, because with conventional machining process, it is not at all possible. Now let's move to the next slide. And the last but not the least, that I have already informed you that why we are preferring today non-conventional machining process over the conventional ones. The basic objective of all machining operation is only to remove the material to obtain a desired shape and size. But the operation varies with the types of energy or the possible machining process basically we are implementing to remove the material. Thus, in today's lecture, I can conclude by saying that already I have told why we are preferring non-conventional machining. Because non-conventional machining is always having lots of advantages over that traditional machining process. Hope in this lecture you have understood what is machining, what is conventional machining, what is non-conventional machining, what are the primary manufacturing processes, what are the secondary manufacturing processes, and what are the basic difference between the conventional machining, non-conventional machining, what are the various energy form that we are selecting to select the various different processes. So thanks viewer for listening my video and watching my video. Please stay connected with me so that in the next session, or in fact in my next lecture, I am going to discuss about all the various non-traditional processes. Thank you once again.